Hi, I'm Lisa from sewnlife.com. Welcome, nice to see you here. Now in this video I'm going to show you how to make this shopping bag. It's a really great bag, and what it has is it has this little bag inside where it folds into itself, so it's a bag in a bag. I'll show you the size of it. If I stand up and put it on my shoulder, that's the size of it. Okay, it's got quite a nice deep area there, so there's plenty of room to get your arm in, but it still gives you enough space to put things in there. It's fully lined as well. Actually, if you want it to be, it can be reversible as well. Okay, so let's just give you a quick show of how easy it is. So you just pull out the bag. It's got two little clips there. Fold it down here in line, and then you fold it once in half, and then bring either of the sides in, and then just bring it into the bag. The pattern is available on my website, sewnlife.com. You can follow along with this. It is a little bit more of a tricky pattern. It's not just simply two squares, but it is really easy to make. So I'm using the pattern here from the reversible bag, and there's one pattern piece and it's cut out on the fold here. So it's the same pattern piece that's used for the two outer pieces and then the two lining pieces. So the length of this piece in total is 77 centimeters, which is 30.5 inches. And then the width that's 24 centimeters, which then doubles, obviously, look, it's cut on the fold. So the total width of each of those pieces is 48 centimeters, which is 19 inches. So just to show you there. So first of all, you've got the two outer pieces together, so right sides together, and pin all the way around the outside edge and sew those together. Then at the same time, take the lining pieces, again right sides together, and sew again all the way around the outside edge, but leave a space here of about 12-14 centimeters so that it can be turned inside out from the lining. Okay, right, so now the outer and the lining has been sewn around the edges. They've got to be attached, so you want them to be right sides together. So that bag is going to stay as it is, and then the lining is going to be turned inside out, and that is going to go inside this bag. And they're going to start to be attached. So the first place to attach them is the outside seams. So that sort of anchors them together at the right place. So pin in there first of all, and then the other seam. Okay, now I need to start attaching these together, and I'm going to leave the last sort of about 8 centimeters not sewn there, and you'll see why in the next stage. So I'm going to go and start pinning together these outer edges of the handles. Right, so lots of pinning here. So everything basically is pinned together, look. So we've now got, so it's an outer and a lining, and again an outer and a lining there. So everything here is pinned and is going to be sewn. So I think we'll take it one stage at a time. First of all, I'm going to sew these outer edges in one row of stitching. I'm going to not sew the top 8 centimeters on all of these handles. Okay, so that outer edge there and that outer edge there, and then we'll come back to the next stage. Right, so the two sides are sewn, that side and that side. So now one of these sides is going to be sewn, okay, all the way around in one section, but not the other side yet. We're going to leave the other side for the moment. Right, the next stage is to sew down there and to sew down there. So then what we'll be left with is just this one little section, and that's where the bag is going to go inside. So the bag that the bag goes in. So this is the piece that will be used to make the bag that the bag is going to go inside. So it's 18 centimeters wide and 51 centimeters long, which is actually 7 inches by 20 inches. So to create the bag, what you're going to do is all these 3 edges are going to be turned under with a double seam. So turn it under once, just under 1 centimeter, and again, and clip it in place, and then do that all the way round. There's going to be one edge left raw, and all these 3 edges are going to be pinned. Okay, so now that the 3 sides are done, fold this side up by 22 centimeters. So that distance from there to there is going to be 22 centimeters. Right, so what you're going to do now is just sew down one of the edges. Right, so that side is sewn, and this one is left open. So this needs to have some poppers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to position the poppers 7 centimeters in from there and 7 centimeters in from there. So if I take my first one, I've got this owl that came with the popper set, and I'm going to put it at the end, put a hole in there, and then put the popper in from the back. Put a piece on the front, press it in place with this. Okay, so that's the first one, and then the one at the back needs to be in exactly the same position. So I'm going to use this, put the owl through the back, you just plop them on top of each other, and then just use this to push them down. Okay, and then there we go. So we'll go ahead and do the second one there now as well. Right, so we've got this last section open now. Everything else around the straps is all sewn up. So this is where this pocket or bag that we've made is going to go in. So you need to make sure it goes in the right way. So you've got the outer fabric here, and then the lining is inside. And what you want to do is have the pocket facing this way. So you've got the sort of the blank bit there, okay? And then it's going to go inside here. So squish it inside there, and it should fit perfectly in this little space. Okay, so clip those 3 sides together, and then take it to the sewing machine and sew across there. Right, now the last thing is to cut the curved edges and the corners, just so that when this is turned inside out it lays flat. So these edges here, well, not edges, corners, that needs to be cut there, and again on the opposite side. Don't cut too close to the stitching, you just want to loosen the fabric, but obviously you don't want to go into the stitching because then the stitching will unravel. And then here on the curves, just a few cuts in there. 3 is probably enough. Okay, if you pull it like that, you can see that it's easing. So it gives you an idea if it's gonna, yeah, there you go. And then the same on the other side. And then this is going to be ready to turn inside out. So I'm going to turn it inside out through the lining. So go to the hole of the lining. Okay, so now we need to close up the opening that's been left in the lining. So turn the 2 seams underneath. They'll naturally sit in place. Clip that together and then take that to the sewing machine and top stitch there. So, okay, so that's done now, and the lining is all now enclosed. So what I want to do now is I'm going to push the lining inside the bag, and there is one thing that I want to do, which is attach this lining to this bag at the bottom here. So I'm just going to do a short line of stitching there to catch the lining and the bag together. And the reason for doing that is because I want it to stay attached to it, so that when it folds inside its pouch, it doesn't get all sort of mixed up. So now we are going to do the handles. These two handles at the front are going to be attached together like that. So the way to do that is we're using this section that was not sewn earlier. So first of all, just simply put those two ends together, clip them together, and sew across there. And then once those are done, the lining also needs to be clipped together. So put those two together and sew them, and you've got right sides together here. Clip those in place, unravel it like that, and just double check that there's nothing twisted, because it can be a bit tricky. So you can see that that will lie flat like that, and then also the same for the lining as well. Okay, so do the same for the front set and the back set. Okay, so now to finish off the handles, what you need to do now is first of all just double check that they sit flat and they're exactly the same length. So the lining and the outer fabric should sit perfectly flat together. If they don't, what you can do is you can go in and actually change the length of the stitching, so you can make either of them longer or shorter as needed. Hopefully they'll be the right size, but if not, that's what you can do to accommodate it. And then literally you need to turn these sides underneath and pin them in place like I have done there, look. Okay, so when they're both done, what you're then going to do is start top stitching. So I'm going to first of all iron everything, and then I'm going to top stitch around there, and then also around there, and then one big row all the way around the outside. So everything then, that's the final step, everything then is top stitched and finished. Right, so all the top stitching is finished now. It just gives it a really nice clean look. So looking really lovely. There we go, with the bag inside that it's going to go into. So the next stage is to fold it all up so that it can go inside its pocket. The great thing about this bag is that it's actually really strong, so it can take a fair bit of weight inside there. I think you'll find this is a really good addition to your shopping, and it looks beautiful as well. So I hope that you enjoyed that tutorial. Hope that you have found it really easy to follow and made your own really lovely bag. Don't forget to let me know what fabrics you use, what yours look like, how you found it. I'm really interested to know in the comments below. So I have got lots and lots of really great projects on the rest of my channel. So have a look and choose your next project, decide what you're going to make next, and hop on over there. I will see you there. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you spending your time with me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.